Should we start, sir?
Yes, sir, you can start now.
Okay. So good morning, student.
Good morning,
Can
sir.
anybody at least one or two students? Yeah, you can unmute certain student one or two so that they can give response. Okay. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So before going to start, my name is first I'll introduce myself. My name is MDF Rose Alam, and I'll take your physics class. Now from the next because this is your first class, from next time I'll take the physics class. Okay. And now you are in 11th, right? So before going to start the physics, first this I want to say how we can study the physics. Okay, the most important thing in physics is mathematics, which we use generally. In fact, in all chapters we use the mathematical tools. Like suppose we use some formula that you have already studied in 9th class or 10th class. So in 9th class or 10th class, whatever the formula we studied, same formula here also we'll use. It's a basic formula. But in 9th class, we did not derive how to get that formula. Just we remember that is the formula we have to use. Okay. But here in 11, we have to derive all formula which we use in physics. And for deriving that formula, we have to use some mathematical tools. Okay. Whatever you studied in 9th class or 10th class, even in maths also, that mathematics, that is the basic math, which we will use here in 11th physics. But some mathematical tools that you have not studied before in 9th and 10th class, okay, but that mathematical tools you will study in 11th and 12th. But in physics, from the first chapter, we will use that mathematics. And that is called, that mathematics chapter is named differentiation.
So your volume
integration.
is
So
low.
that I know. One second. Now can you hear me? Hello. Now can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that mathematical tool which you have not studied before, that is differentiation and integration. Without differentiation and integration, it is very difficult to solve numerical in physics. Of course, you are preparing for some competitive exam also, so you have to know the derivation, and also you will be perfect in numerical. Because in physics, we have a 30% theory and most 70% we have numerical base, like mathematical explanation. Okay, so this is theory is only 30%, but out of this 70%, this 70% is what? The mathematical physics. Okay, without knowing the some basic mathematical tools, you cannot do this 70%. I know without mathematics you can complete 30%, like definition and all you can study, and there is no need of the mathematical tools for this 30%. But this 30% you can complete without mathematics, but for your competitive exam, even for your board exam also, this is not useful, because even now at this time, if you say like in some competitive exam or even in board exam also, they ask some numerical. Okay, like 50-50%, like 40%, 50% they ask numerical. So it means that 30% completing 30% is not useful. Why? Because even in competitive exam, most of the question they ask numerical. So just 30% that is not useful. So for competitive exam as well as for your board exam, you have to know the mathematical physics, and 70% we have a mathematical physics. Okay. So that's why we have to study before starting the physics. First, I'll teach the basic mathematics, and some mathematics I'll teach which you have already studied in 9th and 10th class, and some mathematics that you have not studied before, that also I'll teach, like differentiation and integration. Now, what is the difference in math? We'll study the differentiation and integration, and here I'll teach the same thing in mathematics. The difference is here in physics, when I'll teach the integration and differentiation, after teaching the mathematical way how to solve the integration and differentiation, then I'll show you where we use differentiation means that mathematical tools where we use in the practical life, in daily life, because physics is what? It's just natural science. Okay. So if it is natural science, of course we have to use in daily life that physics. And we know that the physics without mathematics, we cannot complete the physics. That's why I'll show you where we use that mathematical tools in daily life, like differentiation, integration. Okay. Now, even from the first chapter name is kinematics that you have already studied in ninth. Even in the kinematics also, a simple formula we use, that is S is equal to ut plus half at square. I know you are aware of this formula. V is equal to u plus at. Okay, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Even for this formula also, without different, here we have to, for deriving this formula, we have to use integration and differentiation. Using integration and differentiation only, we can solve this graphical also. By the graph also, we can prove this formula. But we have another method also, that is the most important. By differentiation and integration, we have to prove this all formula. So here you can see, from the first chapter of physics, we are using differentiation and integration. So we will not wait for the math, because the same topic we have in 11th math, that is differentiation, and integration it is in 12th. Okay, so we will not wait for the math when we will study in the math. So after that we will study the mathematical tools we will use after that. Okay, so before that, first we have to study the basic mathematics. We will not wait for the math topic. So we will finish this differentiation, integration, then I will start the physics. Okay. Now, so after completing this basic mathematics, then I'll start first chapter, that is unit and dimension, that is how to measure the physical quantity. Okay. One second. Okay. Now, so what is the, because you have just passed 10th exam, and I know that you are thinking like 11th physics is very vast. Now, of course, it is vast, but you can make it easy. First, you have to understand whatever you have studied in 9th class or 10th class. I know that in 9th class, 10th class, you have studied physics. Okay, many chapters you have finished. But we'll not forget that thing. Whatever we studied before, here we'll carry forward. What is that? See, in 11th chapter, we divide in some. Suppose the first is the mechanics. Okay. The mechanics chapter. So in mechanics chapter, we divide into two parts, that is kinematics and dynamics. Okay, I'm not teaching physics, just I'm telling you what is the 11th physics. See, the kinematics that you have already studied in before, whatever the topic we have in 11th, that you have already studied in 9th class.
सर
I know.
तो सर
सर
माइक थोड़ा सामने ले आएंगे क्या?
हाँ, सामने ही है सर.
सामने नहीं. Okay.
Okay. So now is it fine?
It's fine.
Clear? Okay. So the kinematics and dynamics, we divide in mechanics. Now I know that you are thinking this is the new chapter in physics in 11th, because I know mechanics, you don't know what is the mechanics, dynamic, kinematics. But this is nothing but mechanics that you have already studied before in 9th class. In 9th class, you have already studied about the motion. Okay, motion chapter, there was a name, the motion chapter, and we will use some formula like S is equal to ut plus half at square, V is equal to u plus at, V square is equal to u square plus 2. This all for based on that formula, we have solved some question also. Motion under gravity, all this thing is nothing but it comes in the kinematics. Okay, so here what is the change? See, whatever the formula we were using in 9th class, here also we'll use the same, but in 11th the application will be more. In 9th class we had a very less application, we had some basic numericals based on the formula, but here the same thing we'll study, the theory is same, but here application is vast. We have to do so many questions based on that formula, and also we'll not use only the formula for solving the question. we have to use some mathematical tools also for solving the numerical. That is the only difference. Now in dynamic parts, like force, you studied about the force in ninth class. Here also we will study the same thing, Newton's law of motions, okay, and friction or force, everything. So here also you can see in the 11th also we will study the same thing which you have already studied in ninth class. So you don't have to fear about the physics in 11th. It is same as that of ninth, 11th portion, and the 12th portion is similar to 10th class. Whatever the studied you studied in 10th class, like electricity, magnetism, electrostatic, the same thing we have in 12th. Okay, so it means you don't have to like take serious about what this is the 11, so you have to do so many things in physics. So you have a fear. No, it's a very simple. Okay, so whatever you studied in ninth class, here also we'll do the same thing. The difference is only the application part. Here in 11, we will do the more application. What the uses of this physics in practical life will use more. That is the only difference. Okay. Now, so here also you can see what is the important before starting the physics. The important is math. Without mathematics, we cannot complete our 70% physics. I've already told you 30% we have only numerical, or sorry, basic theory. Like without mathematics, you can complete like definition and all. But most of the person, a large portion in physics is mathematical physics. Without completing mathematical physics, first thing you will not understand the deep concept, and the second thing you will not be able to solve numericals. Okay, so if you want to be like conceptually good in physics and numerically sound, so you have to complete first the basic mathematics. You have to understand what is the tools of mathematics we use in physics. Okay, so now from today I'm going to start some basic mathematics. So before that, before starting some differentiation integration, first we have to see what is how to draw the graph, like basic straight line. Okay, so because in physics most of the things we show by the graph, okay, by the equation, by the graph. So first we have to see how to draw the graph, a straight line between the two axes, x and y axis. Okay, so just you can write equation of a straight line. So one by one I'll complete the basic mathematics. Okay, so the first I'll start from the straight line equation, after that differentiation, then integration, and some trigonometric formula in last. Okay, so straight line equation of it, how to draw the straight line and how to write the equation for that straight line, and from the equation how to draw the straight line. Okay. Now suppose we have equation y is equal to mx plus c. I know this thing you have already studied in ninth class. Now see, here x is variable quantity. First we have to identify x and y both are variable. Okay, now x is called independent variable. Okay, y is called dependent variable. Okay, now see what is the difference. Suppose I'm taking y is equal to 2x. See, the value of x we can take anything from minus infinity to plus infinity. We can take -2, we can take +2 also, we can take +1, -1, anything, even you can take 0. So that's why independently we can choose the value of x. So that's why it is called independent variable. Now y is depending on x. So if suppose x is equal to 1, you are getting y is equal to 2. If x is equal to 3, you are getting y is equal to 6. So here you can see the value of y is depending on x. So that's why it is called dependent variable, and x is called independent variable. Okay. M is called slope of, I'll tell you what is the slope later. The slope of line. This is y-intercept. Okay. Now I'll show you how to draw the graph. See, this variable, the variable y, we can keep in the vertical line, vertical axis, that is y, and x independent variable we can keep along x-axis. Of course, this is x, and this is called the coordinate axis, and perpendicular to the two axes, which is perpendicular to each other, horizontal, and this is vertical axis. So we can keep this x and y in horizontal and vertical. Now we have to draw how the value of x changing, because we can take x any value because this is independent, and y value will be dependent. So if you put x is equal to 1, so somewhere you will get this one, y. Suppose I'm taking x is equal to 1 and y is equal to suppose 2. Okay, some coordinate. Similarly, some value of x, so corresponding you will get y value. If you join all this points, you will get this straight line. Okay, this straight line where it cuts y-axis, this is called y-intercept. So from this origin, because all distances will measure from this center, this is called origin. So y-intercept is C. Okay. Now the slope is nothing but with x-axis. This is x-axis. So with x-axis, this line makes an angle theta. Okay. Tan theta is called slope. The slope is nothing but this is tan theta. Okay. Slope is nothing but, yes.
Okay, can we copy this down?
Yeah, you can copy. Okay. So first just listen. Okay. After that, I'll give time to for copy. So slope, where we use the slope, so slope is nothing but this is the angle of this straight line with x-axis. Okay, angle, this is straight line, angle of the straight line with x-axis. Tan of that is called slope. Okay, so tan theta is called slope. So you can note down. After that, we'll see some example. After completing this, tell me you have completed. Completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whenever you see the y is equal to mx plus c, this is equation. And also you can say y is in function of x, means mx plus c. This all value is just we are taking some constant value, some variable value, that is y. Okay. So we can also say that y is in function of x, because y is depending on x. Okay, so y, the value of y, it can change when you change the value of x. M and c, these two are constant quantities, so they will provide in the question. But x you can take any. So that's why this is also called the function of this equation. We can say y is this we can write like this. Y is function of x. Okay, function of x. This is representation. Okay, it just shows that y is depending on x. So this is also y is function of x. We can take here also some other value like t. So we can say y is function of t. Okay. Suppose if we are taking z, so we can say y is function of z. Okay. Now, okay. So I'm just taking a small example. Y is equal to 2x. Okay. We have to plot the graph of this y is equal to 2x. This is y and x origin. See, if you remember the standard formula of a straight line that I have already showed you, y is equal to mx plus c, y is equal to mx plus c. So here we can see, because the coefficient of x is what? The slope of straight line. Okay. So here you can see the value of m we have 2. But here we don't have c. So we can just assume we have 0. So the value of c is 0 and the value of m is what? The slope is 2. Okay. So with the help of this 2 value only we can draw the straight line. So of course c is 0. It means y-intercept is 0. Means that a straight line is passing through here. Means there is no distance on y-axis. So it means this line, the straight line, is passing through origin. Because if you are taking some value of y, so you can say that it is passing through y-axis and this distance is c. But here, in this case, you can see c is 0. So it means this straight line is passing through the center. Whenever c is 0, it means the straight line will pass through the center or origin. Okay, so this is straight line is passing through origin. Okay, now the slope m is equal to 2. So this is theta. So we can write tan theta is equal to. So this is a straight line. Okay, so it means if suppose if we are taking some value of x is 1, so of course corresponding y value is what? X is equal to 1, so y is equal to 2. If x is equal to 2, so corresponding the value of y is 4. See, okay. This example, another example. Note down. Equation of a straight line is important because many things we, even in kinematics also, we'll do xt graph, yt graph in kinematics. So we will use the straight line equation there. Okay, so that's why it is important. Be careful. Then you will understand physics perfectly. Okay, so I remove.
Sir, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Sir, you can remove.
Okay, so next example we'll see. Okay, now this time from, okay, one more graph, then we'll see later. So y is equal to, suppose 2x minus 3. Okay, now this time the value of c means the y-intercept is minus 3. So first what we have, whenever you see if there is a no square on x or the power of x and y is 1 1, so it means this equation is a straight line equation. So be careful. Whenever the power of x or power of y is 1, so it means this is representing a straight line. So we can plot the graph on x and y axis. First thing, after that we have to identify, that is because we know that we can draw the straight line on the graph x and y coordinate system. with the help of the slope and y-intercept. So it means this value, two value is very, very important. So without that value, we cannot draw the graph. Okay. So first we have to identify what is the value of M. Okay. And what is the value of C. So here you can see M is what? M is 2 and C is what? That is -3. Because this is it. So we can also write like this, plus minus of 3. The same thing. Y-intercept is -3. Okay. Now we have to plot the graph.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So straight line equations are only applicable for such kind of linear equations, right?
Yeah, this, of course it is linear. A straight line means linear. That is also called linear. So this is linear equation, or you can say the equation of a straight line.
Okay.
So there should not be any power other than x. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So now y is equal to 2x plus or 2x minus 3. Okay, we have to plot on this. So here you can see the slope is 2 and also slope is positive. The second thing is C. The value of C is -3. It means that a straight line intersect negative y-axis. What is negative y-axis? Here will. This is origin. So right side of this origin is plus x and left side of this origin is negative x. Okay. Similarly, upside is positive y and downside is negative y. So this is negative. That's why it is called negative axis. So straight line slope is positive, but y-intercept is negative. So it means this line is cutting somewhere on negative y-axis. Okay, and then we can draw like now. M is positive means the slope with positive. This is very important. The slope with positive x-axis is theta. Okay, so this tan theta is, we cannot take with this. See, this is negative y-axis, negative x-axis. So we cannot take this angle like this. Okay, so angle with positive x-axis in anti-clockwise. The tan theta is 2, and this distance where the y-axis intersects, that is 3 on negative. Okay, note down this one also.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Where the slope is cutting, that's 2, right? Where the slope is cutting
Slope
the
is not
x-axis,
cutting.
that's 2. That point is 2. I'm asking.
That point is not, that is not the point. It's the angle. Okay, if suppose we are taking this 30 degree. Okay.
Okay.
The value of slope is tan 30 degree. Tan 30 is what? 1 by root 3. So it means
Okay.
theta value is root 3. Then we can say the value of slope is m is 1 by root 3. That is not, it is not indicating any point. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
It is just angle of tan of that angle.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, like, why only tan theta? Why not sin theta or cos theta?
I'll tell you that also in the next example. Why it is tan theta? Okay. It is called slope. Okay. Slope means, I'll tell you the in next example.
Okay.
Okay. So in next example, okay. So next example, now this time I'm taking 2y is equal to 4x plus 2. Okay. Minus 4 and I'm taking minus 2. So 2y is equal to, or like this, so that the generalized equation. 2y plus 3x is equal to 2. Okay. This equation is given. See, here you can see this is not given. Equation is not given in a standard form, because we know that the equation of a straight line in a standard form is y is equal to mx plus c. So with the help of, means if we get the equation in this form, y is equal to mx plus c, then we can identify what is the value of m and what is the value of c, and then we can plot the graph. But here you can see this equation is a straight line. You can see this is a linear equation because the power of y and the power of x is 1. Okay, so that's why this is linear equation, or you can say this equation is equation of a straight line. Okay, so this represents equation of a straight line, but the value of m and c is not given, means slope and the y-intercept is not given. So that's why it is very difficult. Without these two values, we cannot plot the graph. Okay, and this equation is not in the standard form. So what we have to do first, we can make it a standard. We will write this equation in a standard form. Okay, while writing this equation in a standard form, so you can do 2y is equal to minus 3x plus 2. Okay, but still we have a coefficient of y, but we have to make it without coefficient, so we can send this to that side. So we can write y is equal to minus 3 by 2 x plus, again we'll divide, that is 1. Now you can see y is equal to mx plus c. So here m is what? Minus 3 by 2, and c is what? Plus 1. Okay, so now we just wrote this equation in a standard form. Standard form means the standard equation of a straight line. Now we can draw the graph. Okay. Okay. See, now this time you are getting negative slope. So how to do that negative slope? See, y and this is x. Okay. So y-intercept is plus. It means that straight line, if this is straight line, is cutting y positive y-axis. It is not cutting negative because the value of y-intercept is plus 1. So somewhere on the positive y-axis, that straight line is cut. Second thing is slope is negative. Okay, so whenever you get the negative slope, it means we have to measure the angle with x-axis in clockwise. Now see, I'll just draw the graph. See, y-intercept positive means somewhere on positive, that is c is equal to 1. Okay. And slope is negative. Slope negative means we always measure with positive x-axis. Okay, with positive x-axis we always measure. Now this time, because slope is negative minus, so we will measure with negative x-axis in clockwise. This is theta. The tan theta is already it is given minus 3 by 2. Okay, the slope is negative. Negative slope means with negative x-axis you have to measure the angle, or you can say in clockwise. Note down this one also. Okay, so tan theta, okay, you had a confusion why we write the tan theta. Okay, so next we'll see. So whenever the equation is given, so first you convert into the standard form. Why? Actually, there are so many forms of a straight line. Okay, but you don't have to remember all these things. You'll get confused. And how many number of formula you will remember? That's why you just remember one formula, and based on that, just one standard form you just remember, and all values or all equation you convert into that standard form, and then you can plot the graph. And the same thing we'll do in the kinematics also, because in kinematics, xt graph, vt graph, we have to draw. Okay. Completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so in basic, suppose this is right angle triangle. theta, this is H, B, and suppose this A and C. So in the right angle triangle, tan theta is equal to what? Perpendicular by base, so it means C by B. I know this is clear, tan theta is perpendicular base because already you have studied in 6th or 7th class. Okay, so tan theta is what? Perpendicular by base. Now see, and of course this is tan theta is what? The slope of the line. So here also we can say, this is A, B, C, theta. So tan theta is B by C. Suppose B by C we are getting. So we can also say that tan theta is nothing but this is the slope. So we can also say that the slope of this hypotenuse with base is B by C. Okay. Now in a straight line, you'll see if tan theta is not given, then what will you do? So now till now we just draw the graph, okay, or the straight line we just plot from the equation. Now this time I'm just giving a straight line, and then you have to write the equation. This is y and x axis.
Sir, can cot theta be used instead of tan theta?
No. Here I'll tell you, because that is then you can use anything, sine, cos, anything. But here in a standard equation, that value of m is nothing but that is tan theta. So we have to take only tan theta. Okay, based on that because that equation, the standard equation is what? Y is equal to mx plus c. So according to the standard equation we have to do. But you can also write in terms of sine theta, cos theta, cosec theta, you can write anything. But according to that, we have to do some other standard form we have to take. Okay, but that will be very lengthy. So we have to go always with easier equation. Okay, so now I'm just taking this as straight line. This time I'm not giving you y-intercept, not y-intercept we are giving, but it is I'm not giving any slope. But just this origin, this distance I'm giving A, and this B. So it means this straight line is cutting x-axis and y-axis. X-axis at a distance of A, and y-axis, this straight line is cutting y-axis at a distance of B from the origin. So what is the equation of this straight line? Okay, so still I'm saying the same thing. You have to remember only one standard form, and then you have to plot the graph. And standard form is y is equal to mx plus c. So a standard equation is y is equal to mx plus c. You know that. See, from the graph, we can identify what is the value of c. Can you tell me what is the value of c?
B.
B, of course.
B.
Y-intercept. Okay, so this is B. Okay, now this is tan theta because slope is tan theta. Now you can see this is a right angle triangle. So tan theta is what?
B by A.
B by A, tan theta. And we are taking this angle with negative x-axis, or we are taking the angle clockwise. That's why it is negative. So y is equal to, this is minus B by A x plus B. This is the equation of a straight line. Understood? You can also write in some standard form. You can send A that side, and also you can write y by B plus x by A is equal to 1. You can also simplify and you will get this equation. So this is also the standard form of an equation, a straight line, but you don't have to remember this. Just you remember only one standard equation, that is y is equal to mx plus c. Yes.
So why is tan theta taken in negative?
See, whenever you are measuring the angle clockwise, you know, so this is clockwise. So you have to take negative. And whenever you take the angle in anti-clockwise, you have to take positive. See, if I'm taking this angle is 60 degrees. Okay. So of course this angle is what? Tell me.
120.
120, very good. Okay. So if you write, I'm just writing the plus. You had a confusion of why we are writing negative. I'm not taking clockwise, I'm taking anti-clockwise. So here we can write tan 120. And we know that if the value of tan theta is more than 90 degrees, we always get negative. Okay. Or we can also say that the value of tan theta in the second quadrant, we always get negative. Second quadrant means if the angle is more than 90, we will come to the second quadrant. So in second quadrant, tan value is always negative. So you can just sense like the angle is if 120, if we are taking, I'm taking with positive x-axis or anti-clockwise. We know that the angle with anti-clockwise, always positive, but the value is more than 90 degrees. That's why we are getting negative. Otherwise, what we can do, why we will take this 120 and 160, better we'll take this angle. So whenever you are taking this angle, so directly you can write tan 60 degrees, but you are measuring clockwise. That's why this angle is negative. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So there are so many forms of the equation of a straight line. So you have to practice. So you do one thing, you just write any function, okay? Just any equation you just write down. Y is equal to 2x plus 3, 2y is equal to x by 3 plus 2. Like that you just write and try to draw the graph. Okay, so that if you practice at least 5 to 10 questions, then you will get idea how to draw the straight line, and from the straight line how to write equation. Okay, let's say one more example I'm taking because that graph we use in physics also. In fact, this also in physics we can draw this velocity and this is time, or this is displacement time axis, and then I'll provide you this straight line. So I'll ask what is the formula, or what is the function of what is the velocity in function of time, what is the velocity in function of x. So like that, so many examples we'll see in physics first chapter, kinematics. So that's why you have to be perfect in a straight line graph.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, could you give an example of when C is negative? I actually got disconnected while you were explaining that topic.
Okay, sure. So from the graph to equation, or from equation to graph?
From equation to graph.
Equation. So you just tell me. You just tell me any equation. I'll draw the graph. Tell me.
Y is equal to 4x minus 2 maybe.
Y is equal to 4x minus?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. Okay. So here slope is means the value of m, because this is in a standard form, y is equal to mx plus c. Okay. So m is 4 and c is minus 2. Minus 2 means that a straight line is passing through the negative y-axis. It means that a straight line is cutting y-axis in negative, and the slope is 4. Okay. So here just listen carefully, because I'll do one more thing here in graph. This is what? This is y-axis and this is x-axis, right? Okay. So slope is positive. So it means with x-axis the angle will be less than 90. And that straight line is passing through negative y-axis. It is not passing through the positive y, because the value of c is negative. So we can do this one. Correct. So this is the straight line where the slope is theta, tan theta is equal to 4, and this value is on negative y-axis. Can you tell me, it's very interesting results, can you tell me what is this distance where the line is cutting or intercept x-axis? What is that distance from the origin? Can you tell me what is this distance? I'm just taking this is some value x.
X.
So what is the value of x?
Oh.
See, what you have to, yes?
Is it 4?
4.
No, see, how can you do this thing? See, you can also find how to get this too. Your equation is, actually suppose I don't know what, Yes. Yes.
So is the answer 1 by 2?
Okay, we'll check what is that. Yeah, 1 by 2. See, what you have to do whenever you have to find the value where the x-axis is cutting or y-axis. Suppose we don't know the standard equation y is equal to mx plus c. If I ask, we just know the equation of a straight line, that is y is equal to 4x minus 2 is the representation of this straight line. I'm asking where this line intersects on y-axis and where this line intersects x-axis. So whenever I ask, listen carefully, whenever I ask what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept means this is a straight line and it is cutting y-axis. So whenever it is cutting y-axis, you can see the x-coordinate is 0. See, if I ask what is the coordinate x and y value, so you will say this is what y is equal to some value, negative value, but x is equal to 0. But for this point, you can see some value of x as well as some value of y we have. But for this point, we have only value of y, but we don't have value of x. X is 0. Now, whenever the line intersects x-axis, so of course, the y value is 0. Okay. So here, for this point, we have only x coordinate, x value, but we don't have a y value. So for finding this x, so what we can do, just put y is equal to 0. Okay, because this line intersects x-axis. So whenever the line intersects x-axis, we just put y is equal to 0. So if you put y is equal to 0, so what is the corresponding value of x? That is 1 by 2. So this distance is 1 by 2. See, y0 is equal to 4x minus 2. So x is equal to what? 2 by 4. That is 1 by 2. Even you can get the value of y. See, if I ask what is the y-intercept, so what you have to do, x is equal to 0. So x0 means y is equal to minus 2. So you can see also this is what? Y is equal to minus 2, negative y-axis. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So like that you can find. So whenever I ask why is the y-intercept, what is the x-intercept? So if I ask x-intercept means the line where it is cutting or it is passing through x-axis. So what you have to do, just put y is equal to 0. Corresponding the value of x you can get. And whenever I ask what is the y-intercept, you can put x is equal to 0. So whatever the value of y we are getting, that is y-intercept. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So next, because so many examples are there in a straight line, so you can do by yourself. So you just write some equation, and also you do one thing at home, just take a paper and just draw any graph like this one. I'll tell you. See, just take a paper, just draw x and y axis, this one. Okay. So this is what? Slope is positive and y-intercept positive. If I'm saying this is equation of y is equal to 2x plus 3, because slope is positive, y-intercept positive. So you know what is this? This value is what? Can you tell me what is this value?
3.
3.
Very good. And what is this value then? Again, I'm asking what is the x-intercept? So for getting x-intercept, can you tell me what is this value?
2
Minus 3 by 2.
Yeah, just you have to substitute y is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 2 by,
minus 3. 2 by
sorry,
3.
minus 3 by 2.
By
Minus 3 by 2, right?
minus 3 by 2. Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is x is equal to minus 3 by 2. The magnitude is minus 3. It's 3 by 2 plus, because it is in negative x, that's why it is negative. Okay. So you can find any value of x. Just you have to identify the two things, y-intercept and the slope. You can draw the graph of a straight line, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'm going to start most important mathematical tools in physics, that is differentiation. Okay.
Yes.
So at least first 2 class, we'll do the math, basic math, and then we'll start physics. Actually, generally for IIT Advanced, those students who are preparing for IIT Advanced, they study 1 week for this basic mathematics, differentiation, integration. So how important is this? We can see many questions. Like, in fact, some question, if suppose you are able to solve without differentiation and integration, and if it is taking 10 steps, you can solve that question in 1 line using differentiation and integration. Okay. See, the differentiation that you have not seen before in 9th 10th, this is the chapter in math which you will study in 11 math, but this will start later, after maybe 2 or 3 months later. But here in physics, from the first chapter, we'll use differentiation and integration. So one by one we'll see. First we'll see the differentiation and then integration. Okay. Now in differentiation, because here we are going to use this differentiation in physics, and physics is what? It's a natural science, means daily life. So this mathematics we have to use in daily life. Okay. See, in 9th class, 10th class, you have studied so many maths, but still you don't know what is the use of that mathematics. In many equation and many mathematical chapters, the quadratic equation, and so many things you have studied in 9th and 10th. But still you don't know what is the use in general life, in daily life, what is the use of that mathematics. Here also, I know you have a confusion because this is mathematical tool. The confusion is where we will use this differentiation. What is the use of differentiation and integration in daily life, practical life? That is in physics, because physics, it is just natural science. Now, before going to start differentiation, because here the differentiation we are going to use in physics, that's why we have to understand the differentiation in depth. What is the meaning of differentiation? Okay. But in general in math, what we do, just in math, we just write the formula. This is the method to solve, and we start solving the question. But we don't question in math what is the use of that mathematics in daily life, in practical life. But here in physics, whatever the math you are using, here you can question what is the use of that mathematical tool. Okay. So the differentiation, I'm going to start this mathematical, and this is the most important the mathematical tools in physics. So again, I'm repeating why it is important, because without differentiation and integration, you cannot understand the physics, even you will not get interest also. Okay, whenever the formula is derived by integration, differentiation, so there you lose your confidence. Okay, so because whatever the book you are studying, you will study for in 11th or 12th. So in all books there will be some mathematical explanation of the formula and the numericals, everything, and there will be in differentiation and integration. So if you are not good in differentiation and integration, so you lose your confidence, because you will not understand what is the use. So that's why here you have to understand what is the use of differentiation. So I'm writing this differentiation here. What is the differentiation? Okay. So the differentiation, the meaning of differentiation is what? When we break something, okay, or we can say when we differentiate something in a small part, that is called differentiation. In English word also, differentiation is what? When we break something in a small part, that is called differentiation. Okay, we are differentiating the things. Suppose I'm taking this rod. This is the rod. Okay, rod of length L. If okay, this is the rod of length L. Now, according to the differentiation, I can say I'm going to differentiate this rod. Okay, I'm not using any math, just I'm using the word differentiation. Okay, so I'm going to differentiate this rod of length L. Differentiate means if you break something in a small part, but here if you break something in very small part, like if this is the rod of length L, and just breaking this rod in a small part. So many, like 100, 200, 500, 1000. I'm just breaking this thing. It's very, very small, like infinite or infinite also we can say that. See, actually the length of the rod was L. Now you can see this is very, very small, small length. If I'm saying this very small, I'm just giving name is because this length was x is equal to, we can take L, or length is L. Now we can say this is DL. This is DL. If we are taking this length is x, so you can say dx, dx. The very small quantity, okay, very small quantity. Whenever you write very small quantity, we represent by dx. Very small, dx, dx, dx. It means if you add all dx, 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 so you will get your original rod. Okay, but here what I'm doing means I'm breaking this into a small n number of parts. So this x tends to very, very small, that is we can write dx tends to 0. Tends to 0 means it is not 0, but it is very close to 0. So it means if we are breaking this rod in very, very small part, that is called differentiation. And here we will study about the differentiation, everything. And now if you join all dx, dx, okay, now I'm joining all dx, dx, okay, then summation, so you can get the original length or original rod, that is called integration. Integration means the summation. We are adding all the things, small things, that is called integration. Okay, and differentiation means we are breaking anything, not only the rod, anything you can break. Like suppose we have a plate, disc, okay, suppose this is a disc of radius r. If I'm saying differentiate this rod, so we can differentiate in any form. We can differentiate like a small rod of different length, and also we can differentiate a small circle, that is ring. So if you break in a small ring, means if you are cutting from the disc, you are cutting a small ring, okay, that is called differentiation of the disc along the radius, because radius is changing. If you are breaking in a small, like you will get a strip, small, okay, of different length. So that is also differentiation, but in another form. Okay, so differentiation means what? We are breaking the things in very, very small parts. That is called differentiation. I think this is clear. This meaning of differentiation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, so before starting the application of differentiation, first we have to complete, first we have to do some mathematical tool. Okay, see, if I'm saying some formula we use, okay, in physics or in any practical life, so first you have to understand what is the formula. Okay, like suppose, okay, I'm giving you an example. Okay, so I'm just telling you the differentiation is a mathematical tool which we will use in physics. Now you tell me, suppose if you have some sword, okay, and now you have to learn, or suppose you have some gun or any toy, okay. So if I'm saying you have to play with that toy, so now you tell me, so first you will learn what is the toy, the function you will know, or before knowing the function you will start playing with that. Tell me. Suppose you have some toy, okay, so first you will know what is that toy, what is the function of that toy, or you will start playing with that. First you will know the function,
Yes,
and you will start playing. Okay, so here also differentiation is a mathematical tool. So first we have to understand what is that tool and how to do that. After that, once we learn about the mathematical tools, then we can use that mathematical tool in physics. Understood? Okay, So that's why first we will learn how to write the differentiation, how to do the differentiation. Once we learn the differentiation, how to do differentiation, then we can use in physics. Understood? In practical. Now here, first we'll learn how to do the differentiation. See, in differentiation, if I'm saying y is equal to x to the power n, okay, of course this is a function. We can write also y is equal to x square, y is equal to x cube. We can also write y is equal to x to the power 1 by 2. We can write y is equal to x to the power minus 1. We can write y is equal to x to the power minus 2. We can write y is equal to x to the power minus 1 by 2. Got it? So anything we can, the value of n, it can be anything, not only the integers, it can be in decimal also. Okay, any value of n. Now, if we have a function, I told you, we just say the function of x. Okay, y is what? Y is the function of x. Of course, here you can see also x is independent variable and y is independent variable. Okay, and n, it can be anything. So whenever you just see the function of x, this is also called the y is function of x. It means the whole thing x to the power n. Okay, the whole thing x to the power n is nothing but this is y. Okay, now if I'm saying differentiate this function with respect to x, first you have to understand what I'm saying, the sentence. Okay, I'm just saying the differentiate y differentiation of y with respect to x. This is very important. What we have to do? Differentiation of y with respect to x. Why I'm writing this? Because here y is depending on x. So then we can differentiate with respect to x. If I write here t, so y is depending on the value of t because this is variable. So here we have to differentiate y with respect to t. If I write here z, the differentiation of y with respect to z. And here it is x, the differentiation of y with respect to x. Got it? Now, now rules is what? First we have to understand what is the rule of differentiation. Okay, so first we learn rules. Rules say that if y is given in this function, in this standard form, y is equal to x to the power n, and whenever they ask the differentiation of y with respect to x, the first thing we write dy by dx. This is the representation, dy by dx. Okay, in the graph, when I explain the differentiation using the graph, then you will understand why I have just written dy by dx. But here, okay, you cannot question, just see here how to write the mathematical tools, okay, according to the rule. It says that if y is equal to x to the power n is given, the differentiation of y with respect to x, we just write in this form, dy by dx. It means differentiation of y with respect to x. Okay, in this form we write is equal to, according to the rule, x to the power n plus, sorry, n is n into x to the power n minus 1. This is the differentiation. Okay, so you have to
Sir,
remember.
this is the general formula.
Yeah, exactly. This is the general formula of this type only. Y is equal to x to the power n. If it is not given in that form, so you have to convert into the standard form and then you can use this formula. Okay, so you just have to remember this dy by dx is n x to the power n minus 1. This is the rule. And later, once we learn the mathematical tools, then we can see where we can use and how to write dy by dx. Because you can understand dy by dx this thing using graph only. So I'm not discussing the graph now. Graph I'll discuss once you learn the mathematical tools, how to do that. Okay. So this is what differentiation of y with respect to x is what? N x to the power n minus 1 if it is given x to the power n. Got my point? Note down, just note down this one. This is very important. formula? Completed?
Sir, is there any derivation for this formula?
No. There is derivation, but the derivation you will learn either in maths or here in physics later. Yeah, I'll explain in physics when I explain the same thing, differentiation in application. Okay, in application when I explain, then you can understand what is the derivation of. But the derivation is not required here. But in maths you can see the differentiation chapter is a very big chapter in maths. It will take more than 1 month or 2 months to complete the differentiation. So I'm not going to discuss everything in differentiation. Otherwise, because we have to finish in 1 or 2 days. So whatever the basic differentiation we required in physics, so only those things we'll study. Okay. Otherwise, it will take 2 months to complete the only differentiation. Okay. But that is not a use in physics. So whatever the use in physics, the more important is the application. Where is the application of differentiation? That we will do in physics. So before that, I'll explain each and everything. Yes.
Are there other general formulas also for differentiation of this?
Yeah, so many things. So one by one we'll learn. So this is the first form. If y is equal to x to the power
Okay,
n
sir.
is given, so for this, the differentiation this. But for other form, it will be different.
Okay, sir.
Completed?
Sir, we can only differentiate y with respect to x, right? Not the other way around.
Other is because we have a two variables. So other way is you can differentiate x with respect to y. Because see, we have a two unknown, x and y. Understood? We have a two unknown quantity, x and y. And of course, y is depending on the value of x. So that's why you can differentiate either y with respect to x or x with respect to y. Because we can also write x is equal to what? Y to the power 1 by n. Can we write or not?
Yeah.
So then you can differentiate x with respect to y. So dx by dy. But you cannot differentiate if I'm giving you y is equal to x to the power n. You cannot differentiate y with respect to t. Because of course you'll ask the question, what is t here? Because t is not there here. Okay. So in the
Yes, sir.
function you can see we have x and y. So only you can differentiate either with respect to x or with respect to y. But here we have a standard form. A standard form means y is equal to x to the power n. So whenever you see the power of n, so in this form, how to differentiate? This is the formula. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll see some example. Should I remove?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. And don't take light this differentiation, because some students I know, because some students they think like this is the part of mathematics. So when the physics will start, then we'll do. But you don't know 70% physics is depending on the differentiation and integration. 70%. Everything, whatever the formula we use, the derivation of that formula, we use differentiation, integration, even in some numerical also, and especially for competitive exam. So this is very important. So don't take light. Okay. So differentiation. Suppose there's an example, y is equal to x square, 2x square. Okay. First I'm taking x square. Okay. Now we have to differentiate y with respect to x. See, differentiation of y. Okay. Listen carefully, because I know some students have a confusion generally. See, if I write differentiation of y with respect to x, it means what? Differentiation of y with respect to x means what? Can we say that differentiation of x square with respect to x? Can we say or not?
Yes, sir.
Because y is what? Y is x square. So can we say that differentiation of x square with respect to x?
Yes, sir.
Understood? And that x square we are representing by some other value y. But actually y is nothing but this is x square. Okay. So now according to the formula, we can write here dy by dx is equal to what? N, because here n is equal to 2. So can we write here 2 into x to the power 2 minus 1? That is 1. So differentiation of x square with respect to x is what? 2x. So direct also you can write. In physics, direct you can write. Okay. So differentiation of x square with respect to x is 2x. Differentiation of x cube is what? Tell me.
3x
3x
square.
to the power 2.
So 3x square.
Yeah.
Okay. Differentiation of x to the power 4.
3x cube.
4x cube.
4x cube. Sorry.
4x cube.
4x cube.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So direct, because every time we will not use that formula in physics. In short, because we have to use this is mathematical. So you have to remember also, but you should know how to get this. So x to the power n. So in that form, so you can differentiate according to the formula. Okay. Now, if coefficient is given, suppose 2 into x to the power 2. Okay. Whenever we have to differentiate dy by dx. So this is in multiplication. So this is also called coefficient. Okay, it is in multiplication. So whenever you see this type of function, so what you have to do? Okay, we don't have to do anything for 2. Okay, just constant value and coefficient. So we'll write as it is 2. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to differentiate only the variable term. So what is the differentiation of x square? Tell me.
2x.
2x. So here we can write 2x.
2x.
The answer is what? 4x. Got it? So for coefficient, you don't have to do anything. Just you can write as it is, 2 as it is. Then differentiation of x square. Got it? Now, in next example, if y is equal to 2 is given. Okay. Now here you can see this is important because generally we write differentiation of constant is always 0. But how it is 0, then you have to understand. Okay. So y is equal to, listen carefully, y is equal to 2 is given. I told you we can differentiate function when we have a variable. If we don't have any variable quantity, the question is how we can differentiate. So here y is 2, but we have to find dy by dx. Okay. So now I know you got confused here because we don't have any x, but still we have to find the differentiation of y with respect to x. Okay. And also we know that there is no standard form here. This is not in the function of x to the power n. Then how will you do the differentiation? Okay. So I told you if
6 to the power 0.
yeah, exactly. If it is not given here anything, okay, so we can convert or some function is given, so we can convert into the standard form. So when you convert into the standard form, so you can write x to the power 0. Okay, so when we write x to the power 0, so now 2 as it is, n is equal to what? 0. So can we write 0 into x to the power 0 minus 1? Of course, this is what? 0. So dy by dx is 0. So here also you can write differentiation of any constant, suppose c, where c is constant. The differentiation of any constant is 0. So you can write also differentiation of constant quantity. You can note down differentiation of constant quantity is always 0. 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 Okay. So and the other form we'll see. If y is equal to x square plus x plus 1. Okay. So if the function or x is given in addition, so you can differentiate one by one. Okay. If it is an addition or subtraction, so you can differentiate one by one. So now we have to differentiate this with respect to x. So what is the differentiation? Can you tell me? dy by dx. Okay. In general, I'm taking a, b. This is c. So better. Ax square bx plus c. We have to differentiate, means dy by dx. Okay. Now tell me. First we'll differentiate this one. So a as it is, differentiation of x square, that is 2x plus. Okay. Now you tell me y is equal to x. What is the differentiation? Tell me.
1.
1. Okay. So x to the power 1. So we can write 1 into x to the power 1 minus 1. That is 0. So x to the power is 0 is 1. So differentiation of x is 1. So b as it is and differentiation of x is 1 plus, and this is constant, so differentiation is 0. So this is what? 2ax plus b. Okay. Right. Next example, y is equal to x plus 1 by x. Tell me what are the differences. See, I told you if the function is not given in a standard form, you can write here, you can write x to the power minus 1. 1 by x is what? X to the power minus 1. Tell me what is the answer. Differentiation y with respect to x. Is differentiation of this function with respect to x. Okay. Y is equal to x square plus 1 by x square. Okay, do one thing. These all are the homework you have to complete. So x cube plus 1 by x cube. Y is equal to root of x plus 1 by root of x. Okay. Y is equal to 1 by x square plus 1 by x plus 1. Note down this one. See, here you can write x to the power 1 by 2. So n is equal to 1 by 2. For this, you can write x to the power minus 1 by 2. So n is equal to minus 1 by 2. 1 by x, you can write x to the power minus 1. N is minus 1.
So can we even find the LCM of them and do?
Don't do like that. Okay, simply you can do like that. But in that case, we have to use some other rules of differentiation, like product rule or division rule. Suppose if the two functions are given like x square by sine x, cos x, like that. So that I'll explain tomorrow. Okay. So rules, the other form of differentiation. Here I'm just taking addition. The quantities are in addition, but in product, that is the other thing, the other way to solve that differentiation. So that's why always here use the, because we know that we can differentiate one by one. Okay. And we have all these things in function of x to the power n, or you can write in that form, x to the power n.
Okay, sir.
So what you have to do? So in all question you have to find dy by dx, dy by dx.
Should do right now.
You no, just note down this all. Okay. Have you completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, last example, and then rest of the thing we'll do tomorrow. Okay. So last example is interesting. If suppose we have two functions, okay, y is given, suppose 2x plus 3, sorry, y is equal to 2t square plus 1, and x is given t plus 2. Okay, so two different functions are given, but what we have to find? We have to find dy by dx. I'm asking dy by dx, but the problem is, see, you can write, see, the value of t you can find, t is equal to what? X minus 2, and then you can substitute here, so you'll get y value in function of x, and then you can differentiate. But I'll suggest you don't do like that. Okay, that is then the process. Do in simple way. In simple way, we have to find dy by dx, but we don't have y directly with x or with respect to x. We cannot differentiate because y is not directly in function of x. It is indirectly because y is in function of t and x is the function of t. Okay, so what we can do, because I told you whatever the variable here we have, so we can differentiate with that with respect to that variable. So we can write dy by dt with respect to t. So what is that? 2 into differentiation of this is what? 2t, and of course this is one constant, so 0, so 4t. This is equation 1. Now here differentiate x with respect to t, so dx by dt, differentiation of t with respect to t is what? 1, and this is constant. Now this is equation 2. Divide 1 and 2. Equation 1 divided by equation 2. So of course dt cancel. So we can write dy by dx is equal to 4t by 1. The answer is 4t. Understood? So you can write one
Yes.
exam for homework. Y is equal to t square plus t plus 1, and x is equal to t square plus 2.
So I have a doubt.
Yes, now you can ask.
So we can equate in the both the equation t, and then we can form an equation in terms of y and x, no sir?
Yeah, in that way also you can do, but in the simple example you can do. Now here you tell me. Here it is what? T, you can find the value of t in terms of x, and when you substitute here, so you will get very lengthy and very big equation. Understood? So it will take time to differentiate. So better you do one by one, you differentiate, and in last you divide. Simply you will get the answer. Okay. So these are your homework. Tomorrow we will see some other rules of differentiation, like if the two functions are in product and two functions are in division, so how can we differentiate, and also we'll see some example, like graphically how can we represent differentiation and all. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so sir, you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, should I end the session?
Sure, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you end the session?
Yes, sir. I'll end.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.